All right. Well, while Stormy goes back to cleaning himself, it's almost 2 in the morning on December 31st, last day of the year. And I usually by now I'm in bed and I'm just a mess right now, but I usually by now put together a video just kind of recapping the end of the year. And that's my year. This has been my year this whole time. It's been stormy. Stormy, stormy, stormy. Stormy, stormy, stormy. Last year, oh, Stormy, I do have to stretch my leg out. I might have to edit some of this. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to lay back in bed. And I did take some notes. I went through my pictures just to help me remember, to jog my memory on what had occurred throughout the year. It was not a very eventful year this year, 2022. But it was productive, and there was, I think, a lot of growth accomplished. I'm not going to get too much into 2021. I did make a 5-minute long, not even, I don't think, like 3-minute long video for 2021. These videos have taken different lengths. They could go as long as like 40 minutes, to 3 minutes. But this one I don't think is going to take too long, maybe 10 minutes or so. Because I did take notes. And I'm not even sure if this is the actual final cut. I usually like to do these earlier in the season. I mean, the month of December. And I like to put a little more effort into it, like visually, do my hair, makeup. This year, like last year, I did not do any of that. And basically, because 2021 did put a lot of setbacks. Story's looking at me. A lot of setbacks, and it drained quite a bit of energy. So, and I'm not going to get into what happened. I mean, that's a video in itself, what I experienced in the summer months of 2021. I did lose my black cat, Abel, in results of, I'm sorry, I should hold this back. My arms are not long enough. And as a result of some of the things that occurred in a car accident, which is what happened. I lost Abel in a car accident. He didn't die that I know of. He ran away. We were over an hour away from home, so it's not very likely, unless because he is microchipped, that he will find his way back to me or be returned to me. But it's possible. So this was our first full year without Abel. Me and Storm. He's looking at me and rubbing his chin. We made the best of it. I miss him every day. I talk about him often. He was a good cat. A lot of people didn't like him because he was kind of mean, but I appreciated him for what he was, not just whatever. My hair's a mess. Okay. So let me just stick to my notes. So I did want to lead in with just where I started at the beginning of this year without going too deep into what happened in 2021. So yeah, and I think eventually I did learn that it's not best to revisit traumatic events until at least 18 months. And so that way you're not so emotionally tied to it. And I think I am to that point now, but I'm going to wait till that 18-month mark to delve into that experience. So we'll just leave that for another video. January, these are based off my photo albums. I had to go through the notes just to remember, jog my memory. Not that like that much occurred, but okay, in January 2022, I moved back into my home. I had been staying with my dad for the prior few months. I think it was like 4 months. Anyways, I had been staying at my dad's house and working from there, but by January I did move back to my house, just a couple hours away from my dad's. I went back to working from my home, and I still did visit my dad regularly. I did try to get back into making videos. I made one last makeup video that was like from my Ipsy subscriptions that had came while I was away. But I did end those subscriptions around that time, and I did do like a wrap-up video with like 2 months worth because I hadn't been around. I did get back into reconnections with some of my Springfield friends and neighbors. And my main attempt was to focus on my self-care and healing. So yeah. Oh, I think I was saying, I think I cut off that this might not even be the video that goes up, but since it's so late in the year that like and since it's like the last day, I don't want to, I usually make sure I do these before the first of the year. So I'm just cramming it in now in case I don't do a better version. At least I'll have something. Since I'm down to the wire, my arm hurts from like holding that phone. February, I'm back to my home. Not as much as I am now, but we got hit with a snowstorm, so I was able to work on some of my independence and being stranded at home by myself. And then also some of my strengthening. My neighbors were helpful for me and towards me. I mean, I don't know. And they helped me with dealing with the snow build up. It was really high. I don't remember what we ended up getting, but it was a lot. And I did fall off of making my makeup videos on my YouTube channel. That was where I did make my last makeup video. And I do want to get back into it, but I just haven't. I just kind of don't care anymore, but I do want to get back into things that I did enjoy prior to moving away and stuff. And I still was enjoying reconnecting with some friends that I hadn't seen since 2021. March, I was spending quite a bit of time in my hometown with my family, seeing my nieces and nephews quite often, building up a little relationship with them. I didn't visit so much prior to this, I didn't visit like so much prior to last year, so there was a lot of reconnecting with family too. I still was focused on myself quite a bit, and work was the main focus because I had lost some time in work in 2021, and had accumulated some new bills, a new car payment. So financially, I was restrained a little bit in areas. So I was aiming for a promotion by then. I didn't do any I didn't have many interactions outside of my friends and family. I did meet a guy. We tried to see about a relationship, but that didn't work. I'm not even giving him much input on this video, but I started eating out more, enjoying friends more, eating at my friends and families more. So I guess it does also it's helpful to explain that I was quite traumatized and like paranoid when I first moved back in January. I'm not going to get into depth of like how intense it was, but going out like to friends and families and outside of my like immediate family was something I had to work on. And I know it's not like a big deal, and before any of that happened, I wouldn't even make note of it, but because I was uncomfortable around most anybody, it was kind of therapeutic when I was able to get back into that groove of things. I did have a head injury that was quite intense. It required wound care every week in the beginning, and then eventually every 2 weeks. So even when I was back in my home, I had the option to get a doctor here where I live, but I wanted to stay with the ones that were with me since the beginning, so I decided to travel for wound care. And like I said, it was weekly initially, then it went to 2 weeks. By what month are we in? March. I began to complete my healing to the point where wound care was no longer needed. So I don't remember exactly which month it was. I think it was about March, but wrapped up my wound care healing from there. So all my trips back to my hometown where my family is, were more optional than like necessary. By April, I was making more efforts to like go out to the store and cook at home more and things like that. Like I said, it was pretty rough to like not even just socialize, but to like get outside the house and be in the public. So it was kind of a big deal for me to get back into the regular routine of things that I was used to doing, grocery shopping and things like that. So I was doing a little bit more of that. Trying to basically rebuild what had kind of crumbled over time. In April, I did get my promotion that I was working for. That I'm not going to get too deep into detail about that, but it did help give me a little more comfort in some of the financial areas I was stressing in. I was still being cared for pretty heavily by both sets of my neighbors. One of them was basically my best friends, one set, and they still are. And feeding me often, just having me over, just checking on me daily, being a great support, showing lots of love. The other set, they're a little busy and kind of keep to themselves, but they took the initiative, and I greatly appreciate it. But they take care of my yard work along with theirs, and have the lawn care company handle that area. So even though I should be out there getting the exercise and just getting the hands-on, I don't have to, so I appreciate that. Back in May, I did enjoy getting out more with the weather as it improved. I still didn't get out as much as I had previous May in 2021. I did still have, this year I had quite a bit of depression and some anxiety, and it was kind of hard to get out of the house. Even if it was my own yard, I still stayed inside quite a bit, way more than I should have. I'm still living in between two cities at that point, going back and forth pretty frequently, but it was getting less and less. By June, I was noticeably spending less time in my hometown. I did celebrate my birthday there and Father's Day, and I don't know. I was still focusing on regaining my strength and independence and healing. I had explored quite a bit into, by this point, therapists. I was read a message. Therapy. I had been taking the advice of others and opening up to others and allowing there to be a flow with people knowing what's going on in my life, and I don't know. In July, I had my brother come visit me, and he helped me with some yard work that was a couple years behind, cleaning my gutters that had like little tiny trees growing out of it. It was horrible. I really appreciated him for that. He did stay a couple weeks, and then before that, he stayed like a week and came back. So he kind of was coming and going a little bit. It was good to have him. I enjoyed his company, and he definitely kept me busy and out of my head, we'll say. But being brother and sister, though, like, we still bumped heads, so that didn't last forever. So yeah, he stayed here for that time, and it was productive. My nieces from Colorado came to visit in my dad's town, and I did get to spend some time with them. Not as much as I wanted to, but that's on me. I should have made more of an effort, but by this point I wasn't traveling quite as much. By August, I started to appreciate and kind of enjoy more so my alone time, and I think having my brother stay with me might have helped to like encourage that. I missed him though. I would have him move in, but we would have to like agree on some things first. But yeah, I think, after having him stay, I did start to forget how it is nice and I can control my environment so much better when it's just me. So I was starting to kind of appreciate my solitude a little bit more, and knowing that I had people I could reach out to, but I had also the option of going within alone. By September, this video is getting a lot longer than I thought it would be. And it's like me laying halfway down in bed. Anyways, by September, I was, it's hard to say, but I think I was finding more of returning back to the me prior to trauma. And I was kind of getting more into my, back into my groove. I did have, excuse me, I did have a foot injury during that time. My neighbor had to help me with it because it was like on the back of my foot and I couldn't see how bad it was. And it was, it got basically, I don't know how to describe it. Anyways, it was pretty bad, but did not need stitches. It was more like, I don't want to get graphic, but like, it wasn't like a slice. It was like, the skin was like ripped off, but so that, I mean, stitches couldn't help it anyways. But anyways, it took forever to heal, and it was really deep, and like, but it did eventually heal, and it healed up pretty good. And it, even though it took its time, it wasn't any infection or anything like that. I did it right on the back of my foot, like where the Achilles tendon is. And when it happened, I felt like I couldn't stand. I felt like it cut through it. I was like, what the hell? But anyways, it was a trip. In September, we traveled to, not we, but me, my sister and my dad and I traveled to Indiana for my cousin's wedding. And we did have to, I did agree to do the cake, the wedding cake, and almost 120 something cupcakes. And because we were still pretty warm and I had been pretty rusty, and bacon, the cakes almost didn't make it. They pretty much melted. Luckily, with the design that I had, it didn't look horrible, but it was not near as good as it looked when I started off with them at home. But I had to drive like 8 hours with them. So, and tried to keep the air as cold as possible. So it was tricky. But my cousin still liked it, and I appreciated that she wasn't bothered by it. And we got to see all kinds of family while we were at that event, which was nice. In October, I got back into baking a little bit more after that cake project for the wedding. I did a birthday cake project for my neighbor's daughter, and that was nice to kind of keep. I mean, it still didn't turn out how I wanted it. I mean, it turned out cute, but there are still issues with it then, too. In October, my dad had his high school reunion in my town, so which is his hometown. So he came to visit me while he did that, and it was nice having him here. I spending lots of time with Stormy and actually appreciating it. The animal life started to really pick up around that time too. Deer more. So, deer, raccoon that lives under my deck, possum, I saw, I think, a couple fox, what else did I see? A couple stray cats, one that is black, and I was hoping to be Abel, but I just yelled at him the other day, like just yesterday. I was like, Abel, come here, and he ran for me, so that's not Abel. Let's see. Quite a bit of animals, but the deer have been the most prominent. Like, they've been every night pretty much, especially lately in December. But I don't know, they're my babies. I love them. It really helps me like stay calm and appreciative, positive, happy. November, kicked off the holiday season with family. I spent Thanksgiving at my dad's, which I ended up getting sick for like the first, and I knew it was coming. I was like, I'm due, because it'd been like since before my ex-husband moved out. I think it had been almost 5 years since I'd been sick with anything. So I did get stricken with like a cold, RSV. I don't know what it was, but it was definitely not fun. It lasted about a week, and I recovered. December, I've recently been getting, I still don't really like going to the stores and stuff, but I do on occasion get out. I had recently had some food delivered, and I kind of might go back to having that done every now and then. But I have been cooking for myself more, and I think that's like a big deal for me, because I am so much healthier when I eat what I cook, and I think it does. It's not a thing I really enjoy, so it's not even like a hobby for me. It's like more of a chore, but it does do good for me to put that energy into what I'm fixing, and I think it has benefits to my health and well-being and mental states. So I've been doing more of that. I've been wanting to get back into making videos with hair and makeup and stuff, but that's another thing. That is a hobby more so that would help me with, those things that cooking can help me with, like just my mental health and coping and just keeping positive. But that's still something to work on for next year. So yeah, I think to wrap up this video for 2021, I think the main takeaway had been the appreciation of life for its ups and downs, and taking the downs and helping them to build up your ups, and to put the effort into self and self-love and care and mental health. I kind of was just disjointed, but yeah. I'm thinking next year I'm going to keep my expectations towards myself in the way of not expecting anything from anyone else, appreciating what I do receive from others, not even just in the way of tangible things, but like experiences and just fellowship, communications. Don't, get hurt if like it's not what I wanted or expected, so, but to expect more out of myself. So don't hold any expectations against anyone else. I'm hoping I can focus on that. What is it? I'm gonna have to edit this down, because it's almost a half hour, and because I definitely didn't plan on it going this long. But yeah, I need to also, because I don't do what are they called? Resolutions, New Year's resolutions. I just do more of like what I hope to come and what I hope to be and do, and things like that. But this is such a disjointed video. So yeah. So no resolutions, but I do hope to take better care of myself interact better with others, kind of just learn to flow and maneuver and just dance better with all of the people and the elements and the events and that surround me. Not to let it impact me emotionally, whether things are, good or bad, just to keep my cool, keep my composure, appreciate and love things for what they are, whether it is a stressor or I don't know, anything positive, but I guess, so yeah. I think this is good though. I at least got a video put together. Like I said, not sure if I'm gonna use it. It's really pathetic. It's not even pathetic, but it's just thrown together and at last minute. So, but this is what it is. Sure, like other videos, I like got all done up and whatever. But this is what it is for 2022. I'm in the last day of it, and I'm chugging along, and I hope that 2023 brings more of a vacation vibe to it than so much work. So we'll see. Yeah, nothing but high hopes and high vibes. Love you. Bye.